Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Austin with Gone in 60. I lost thousands on my 3000 GT. Let me share with you the amount and why I don't regret it. All right, guys, so here in Park City, Utah, stayed up here for the weekend with some friends. Had a company golf tournament yesterday, and it's Saturday. It's a good day. It's beautiful out here in Park City. Hopefully I can get some mountain shots for you guys. Hopefully you guys have watched the 3000 GT versus Camaro video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Put a lot of editing into that. A lot of work went into trying to make that fun, make it unique, and add kind of my flair to it. But really happy with just the scenery and a lot of the shots that we got with the drone. So if you guys haven't watched that video, please go check it out. For those of you new who's watching this, my name's Austin. This is Gone in 60. Welcome. I buy and sell a lot of cars. I've driven a lot of V8s, and I dabbled in kind of the JDM type community, although a lot of people will argue that some of the 3000 GT technically aren't considered JDM. So I remember when I drove the 3000 GT VR4 for the first time, I wasn't expecting the car to be as fast as it was. That car, until you get up to about 3000 RPM, it feels kind of slow, but when those twin turbos kick on, it kicks you in your pants, and it is awesome. And so found a yellow one. It wasn't my first color. I wanted a project car. I wanted something different to bring to the channel, and I kind of got turbo drunk. I loved how that car pulled. It was really fun. It was really fast, and it kind of sounded like an airplane when the twin turbos kicked in. And anybody who doesn't understand that platform, until you've driven one, and I had my brother-in-law and a couple other people drive it. When they drove it, they're like, dude, I totally get why this car is awesome and why it was a slayer back in its day. So overall, I bought a 1995 3000 GT VR4, had about 98,000 miles on it. When I bought the car, the owner wouldn't let me take it to get it inspected. Don't want to jump into that. Don't want to point any fingers or any blame. The blame is completely on me. But I noticed some oil leaks and some different issues with the car, and I thought a lot of it I could get fixed. So I purchased the car for $16,500. So that's where we start out on this journey, and let me share with you just some of the costs, some of the things we fixed. I think I made the car a lot better than what it was, but at the end of the day, I ended up losing my shirt in this deal. So all of the things that we changed on the car, there's a lot, there's a ton. New rotors, new brake pads, new spark plugs, new spark plug wires, new valve cover gasket on the front. I needed to do the rear. I put a new valve cover on it because the previous one was cracked. New timing belt, new water pump, new battery, new starter, new shift knob, new shift boot, some levers inside for like cruise control, and also for the gas cap release. Those were broken off, so I fixed those. Man, probably spent $100 on degreaser for the car. If you guys haven't seen the amount of oil and stuff that I cleaned off the car, please go check that out, because it was a sea of oil removing it off of the car. There's just so many things that we replaced on it. And I know I'm probably leaving several things off of here as I'm kind of going through this. New PCV valve, some new hoses inside. Man, there's too many to list. There's a lot. So overall, I ended up putting close to $23,000 into the car. So I bought it for $16,500. Sales tax pushed me to about $18,000. So I put another $5,000 into the car, and the car was a lot better. It still needed several things done to it. It needed new tires. So I believe the drive shaft needed to be replaced. There were some bushings around it, and apparently you have to like change out the whole thing. So that was like $1,000. Probably another $4,000 to $5,000 into it, seriously, because one of the things that I couldn't get around was the car had a smoking issue. After it ran, it was fine when it was warm, but you'll see in my racing video, when a car sits, where it would sit and kind of idle for a while, oil would kind of build up into the exhaust and it would smoke out the back really bad, like Uncle Buck style. And I couldn't fix it. I tried replacing the rear turbo. I changed out the PCV valve. I tried doing several things to make it be better. And at the end of the day, I'm quite confident the valve stem seals needed to be replaced. And some people say, oh, that's an easy job. It's a two-man job. You get a special tool, you can do it. Otherwise, you take it to a shop and you're a few grand into it. So I feel when you even look at the body, the paint, and some other stuff, that car, to really be in the spec and condition that I wanted it in, it needed another 5 grand. So I was into the car for $23,000 and I got tired of working on it. I tried fixing the turbo on it. People say it's an easy fix. I replaced the rear one. It literally was a month or two project for me, just on and off trying to take it apart. That engine is one of the hardest I've ever worked on, and I don't consider myself a mechanic, but it was super tight, super cramped. I mean, I was on top of the engine. I pushed myself way further than I ever have. So let me share with you what I sold the car for and what I took a loss on it. And I also want to share with you why I don't regret it. And you guys might think I'm crazy, but let me share with you why I don't regret it. But let's jump into what I ended up selling the car for. So guys, I reached a point with this car, I wanted it out of my garage. It was on jack stands in my garage for like 3 months. And anybody who's owned one of these cars knows that they spend more time on jack stands than they do driving down the road. So I aggressively wanted to sell it. I could have waited. I could have been more patient. I was very honest and upfront in selling the car. And you know, and I'm sure there's still stuff that I missed that needed to be fixed on it. And so I found a kid who wanted to buy it and he wanted to restore it with his dad. His dad had that car growing up and he really wanted a project. He wanted to swap me for a 3000 or for a 300Z twin turbo, but it needed some things fixed on it too. And I just didn't want to go through that heavy of a project car again. So you know, I had some offers, I had some people considering it, shipping it and different things. So overall, guys, I just completely overpaid for the car. I didn't inspect it thoroughly enough. I knew there were some issues and I overpaid for it. And I just wanted the car out of my life, and I didn't want to put another $4,000 or $5,000 into the car and wait several years to even just get my money back on it. So I decided to sell it, and I sold it aggressively, and I sold it to this kid that wanted to work on it with his dad, who had a 3000 GT growing up, sold it to someone in California. He wanted to trade me for a 300Z twin turbo, but it needed some turbo work done, had some oil leak, and I just didn't want another project car, even though those cars were pretty sweet. I just was so done with it. I was just done with it being in my garage. I was done with parking my Camaro outside. So I sold it for a lot less than what I wanted to. I sold the car for $10,500. So I lost almost just roughly about $13,000 on the car. $13,000 on the car. Just let that sink in just for a minute. A lot of money. But I don't regret it. And the reason I don't regret it is because even though it was painful trying to fix that car, even though that car kept me up at night, even though that car stole my weekends and nights and any spare minute I had to try and fix it, I pushed myself further than what I ever typically would have done working on a car. I changed out a valve cover gasket. You know, I took out spark plugs. I removed a rear turbo and heat shields that were impossible to get to. You know, I got a lot more handy with car work. I mean, that interior of that car, I got it looking so good compared to what it was. I mean, I don't even want to know how many hours I spent trying to clean that interior, but it was a labor of love. And ultimately for me, I wanted to get to the exterior and making it look better, but the goal for me was to get it running and driving and just being reliable, and I couldn't get it to that point. I mean, the car, yes, it still ran, but who wants to be driving down the road and I'm smoking out the entire county because I'm driving it? And I got tired of it, but I pushed myself further than ever. And when I raced the Camaro, it was kind of like a bittersweet ending for me because I still would purchase one of those cars. I'd do it differently, yes. But at the end of the day, I pushed myself and grew. I made some awesome content, even if a lot of people didn't watch it, that I enjoyed. And I can look back on and I can show growth. I learned some lessons on buying cars through that experience. Absolutely. and you guys will see how maybe I've learned from those mistakes in upcoming videos. But at the end of the day, it was money. Yeah, I lost it, but I consider it an education and a time to lose. And, you know, with that loss, you guys are going to see I need to make some changes on the channel. I need to make some changes to better my financial situation. I no means am broke, or, you know, like I am okay, and I'm okay with what happened, and I will make it right, and I will, you know, I'll fill that loss. But it's not going to stop the channel. It's not going to stop me. I'm grateful I had the opportunity to work on that car. I hope that they get it running how I wanted to, but all the money I put into that car for what they bought it for, they have a leg up. And if they can fix some of those issues, that motor's strong in the car, they're gonna enjoy it for a lot of years to come. But guys, we're not going anywhere. We're getting faster. We're getting better. I love YouTube. I love cars, almost to a problem where I just want to buy so many different cars and sell a lot of different cars. But guys, I'm more motivated than ever. I lost $13,000 in my 3000 GT. I don't regret it. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video.